Hi guys, I've made a few videos which I've intended to post which I haven't really finished, and for various reasons I won't bore you with it. But I thought I'd make it a bit of a fun one. I thought I'd make a what a guy who is insane and likes his hardware has around him at all times. To an extreme top-end XOC overclocker, this video will seem like nothing. To someone who's gotten into computing, it'll seem like a fair bit more, but wherever you're at within the scale, this is the sort of video I'd find interesting. So I'll show you around different rooms and different things, and feel free to please subscribe and please like the video and all that. But feel free to please post comments so that I can get back to you. There's a lot of interesting stuff. I live in Perth, Australia. There's not many of us who do this here. Big shout out to Jason Bullant, who's the, as far as I know, only other XOC overclocker in Perth. Please shout out anyone else in Perth who is an XOC overclocker and we don't know about. XOC means extreme overclocking, so going to sub-zero and things like that. If you to go and put your radiator for your water cooling into a bucket of ice, you're starting to think XOC, which is good. It's good. And come and join Perth Overclockers and Modders Facebook page. Wherever you are, by the way, watching this video, come and join. But if you're in Perth, make sure you do. And I've got a lot of hardware, and I can't show everything, but I'll just show you some interesting bits room by room, and hope you invite more friends to my YouTube page. I'm not very good at self-promotion. I'm not very good at spamming pages to put links to me and all that sort of stuff. But if you enjoy what you do watch, then give an old fella a chance. Fair dinkum, True blue, gives a buzz. Anyway, I'll do some more vids and show you some rooms. So this would just be the basics. This is the main TV room. This is very tolerant. What have I got? I've got a little HT PC down there, which is an A10 7700K on an FM2 platform, and that's all that's needed for me to go and do a bit of YouTube, watch a couple of vids. I've got a G5 case laying around, which is just about workable. There's an old Stormtrooper. Now this is a build that I've posted in different places. It's a 980 with a QX 6700 in it, with some Corsair and some NVIDIA SLI some SLI RAM in this that was like the beginning of XMP. Quite an interesting little build. I'll finish off an acrylic side panel for that at some point. It's kind of my sold desk over here, or selling or sold things that need to be sent or have been posted. The bed just becomes the shit pile for anything. I do a couple of builds here and there. I'll stop this video at the end of this tower. I've got a lot of water cooling gear over on this side. I need to get far more organised. I'm not OCD by any stretch of the imagination. Some people are, but I need to be better than I am. This is hard tubing for water cooling, 13 and 12mm tubing. I don't really use that sort of stuff much, but it's all there. There's some different things for different things. A lot of fittings in there and in here as well. A lot of heat spreaders for RAM. Lots of fittings for water cooling. And some tubing, obviously. There's an AIO sitting under there. A dual pump header with only one of the pumps working on that. That was on my chiller before. A little cooler for if I want to put an AIO. It's got that design for the big water and stuff like that to go in there. More hardcore fittings and whatnot there. Lots and lots of thermal pads in here, which I took from asset recovery type situation. The tooling, not much. It's just, we all know about tools. A lot of these plates and securings are for using with the LN2 gear over here, and you might be thinking, why, I drink a lot of coffee or something? No, the thermoses are for LN2 as well. Reservoirs, some cutesy stuff. These are for doing SLI LN2, which I've never done. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a guru at doing any of this. As the guys that I speak to are gurus. I'm a noob in LN2 land, but I've had a few goes, but not on GPUs yet. Using the good old Kingpin here I have, and that's been a lot of fun. I want to revisit ASAP, but the phones don't really allow. There's two there. You'd use a different LN2 pot for different type of chip or different purpose. These are LN2 for memory, of which Jason in Perth, Bulland, is one of the, you'd have to call him one of the top 3 in the world for memory. Overclocking and being in a pretty lonely city to do it, so kudos to him. More mounting sort of stuff for that. Got a bit of a heatsink fetish, so I've got a bunch of heat sinks and stuff like that up here. Noctua N15, the best one there. Just I float mount it when I'm doing some air testing sometimes. At the moment I'm using a, I wasn't going to go in here yet, but a Cooler Master Vapor X float mounted on something just to do some testing at the moment. Anyway, it's supposed to do it for this main area where I'm watching a bit of telly. Got the kitchen behind me over here as well, and my main that I'm getting better at rig will be with my current OS setup. Prior to this, I had an SOZ X99 Champion set up in here. It's giving me grief, so I've put it apart for varying reasons. Running a FX8150 with 16 gig of 2400 C9 Samsung's in it, and Vega 64. Just want to see how the Vega 64 went on this platform. It's a little bit more sluggish, but we'll see how that comes along. And I've always got a plethora of other things like fans and whatnot lying around. I'm doing this all in one night, so you can see how it is in one day. That's a external red pump, thanks to Fast Fate from OCN. Speaking of OCN, I'm on a Skype page with a bunch of guys, and they're on the Facebook page too, and they're absolute top bunch of blokes. Splave, David Miller, Shah, Shaggy, the list goes on. Sonny, of course, who can forget Sonny, Mopar Man. Look, I've forgotten guys, they're going to get upset if they see it, but anyway, it doesn't matter, I can't keep going on about that. This is my graphics card wall, pretty much. A lot of old stuff there, and me just being scattered with a motherboard or two as well. Quad 580 GTXs, couple of 680s, 590, they're all on water box. Some MSI Hawk cards, some stuff that's already had the heat sinks taken off and whatnot. More bits and pieces, a water box 780, some other heat sinks and stuff, water blocks for things. If I turn around, I'll give you the rest of this room. At the moment I'm doing a testing on this one over here, just flat mounting a vapor on there. I've always got heat sinks and I'm not hanging about. This was a little interesting experiment to use ice blocks in there on a north bridge, and then later on replace this with the one off the Extreme 4 to make it back into a daily air motherboard. DQ6 it is, so it's worth doing it too, but haven't finished. And then we've got the 3930K on the Rampage 4 RAM, fans pulling outwards because of condensation from the chiller, with a lot of insulation and stuff like that. A lot of dead boards and stuff I've got going on under here, a lot of cabling. But over on this side is where it's normally a lot better than this. That's my whole DDR3 to some 4 collection, and I tend to start storing motherboards. A lot of those are dead. Other things I'm doing builds with soon. The CPU's under there, and there's a bundle of that. More in another box. You know, ones I've been mucking around with lately. Great boards like the X58 OC, and that's a semi-dead Sabertooth I was going to see if I could bring back to life. A lot of insulation and things like that around. Water blocks. That'll do for this room. Here's the kitchen bench. Obligatory can of Red Bull and a finished can of beer, of course. Just fans and general things. I'm going to put this Noctua into a build shortly. Some more water cooling components down there. Oh, still gotta love the size of these things, don't you? D900. Next one's going to go back into there for a daily, just screws and lots of bits and pieces. I guess the kind of the final room, apart from the stuff that's outside. Build in progress. Using one of these thermal take RGB cases, have a crack like pretty much going to have a shroud. X99 build. That's the SOC Champion board that came out of the D900 down there. Some cable extensions. That needs to be turned into what it should be again, which is the thermal take TGP7 with the wings. Electronic sort of stuff. In the other room I've got the soldering equipment and everything for the very little that I do. What else is there we're running in it now? Just stacks and stacks of cables and manuals and, you know. Behind here, fans coming out the wazoo. More thermoses, deadish fans. Lot of cable extensions and stuff like that. One's just the perfect mix of anything to do any build basically. Hard drives come up here. A lot of IO shields. And Wi-Fi bits. Just a 27-inch curved out the back here. So power supply is what I own. I own an Odin Gigabyte. I've got three 1200 AX 1200 Corsair ones, and I've got a 1250 XFX, which is essentially a Seasonic. This one here, and an 850 EVA G2. In case anybody was wondering what I use. One of choice that I use a lot. They have to be very specific with the pinouts on the cables on those, so don't be too flippant. Yeah, never switch your PSU cables unless you know what you're doing. They do have different pinouts from ins, and that's one of the lessons I learnt the hard way by killing a motherboard. So, yeah, anyway, I don't know what else you want to say here, but I just thought I'd give you, hold on. Oops. Well, there you go, it's a bit of a rundown on a lunatic's hardware house. Does a bit of XOC, builds a few computers, just in, I'm not as good or gung-ho, I suppose, as a lot of the guys in the Overclock.net team that I know and respect, who are hard on the competition side, I suppose. I try to do what's in between doing builds and buying and selling parts. Just stuff that's interesting. You know, Sonny will see this, Sonny Chicken, and he'll know exactly what I mean. Just whatever tweaks your fancy. I mean, there's a guy who decided one day I'll do four-way SLI, and I'll give it a, if you're familiar with diesel engines, a common rail in and out for the water. So common rail on one side and another with injector type design, coming back the other way. So stuff like that that's just interesting, you know. I mean, it's probably nothing that I'm ever going to do at someone who's a number 4, but it's the first time for me. And it's not about what you spend on your hardware, how much money you've got, all that. It's a matter of what you do with what you've got. I mean, I've got a lot of high-end stuff. I haven't got anything past X270. Anything apart from the X99, X79, which are 6-core 12 threads. I don't have an 8-core CPU. They're fast enough anyway. Want to overclock the older stuff, want to have a bit of fun. Gen 3, which isn't a lot of difference from Gen 3 to Gen 4. You might say, oh, DDR4, but then you play with your latencies. You've got to have C14 3200 and to equal sort of 2400 C8 or 9, you know. So there's nothing wrong with playing with what you got, and more ghetto the better. It doesn't all have to look bling. It doesn't have to have all the flash and stuff like that either. Can do if you want, your choice. But just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. All right. Signing out. Fair dink.